Right before God get ready to bless you with a huge bag, and I ain't just talking about money, I'm talking about a bag that will change something for the better in your life. Right before this bag drops, there's usually a series of things that happen right beforehand. Now, in my experience, I can tell you that I have had these things happen, and then right around the corner from those things happening, boom, God makes it rain. And He makes it rain heavy. So I'm going to be telling you one of the experiences that I had where I had to go through a series of these things. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to break down the different things that happen right before God make it rain. So listen to what I went through, and then we're going to be breaking down how this could possibly apply to you and the big bag that's about to drop. So it was a little bit back in the day from today when I was working at a school. Now I have been working there for 5 months. And to my surprise, one day I opened up the email and they announced the employee of the month. Me. I had just got there, and within 5 months, I was the employee of the month. Now, with employee of the month, you get all kind of perks, all kind of rewards. And one of the rewards was you get the very first parking space of the entire school. The problem was I had a beat up, bummy, embarrassing car. I didn't want nobody to know what I drove. In fact, for the 5 months leading up to this employee of the month, I had always parked in the back. I didn't care about parking in the front. But now everyone expected that I would be pulling up and parking in that number one spot. So days go by, and I leave the parking spot empty. I'm like, I'm not going to park there. I go and I park way in the back still. And people are asking and they're wondering like, hey, dude, where's your car? Why are you not parking in the front? And I tried to play it like, oh, I was just so humble and I didn't want to take up the spot, even though the spot was empty. So people would ask, well, can I park there? And I'll let other people park in the spot. One day, it was a huge blizzard. And I was real cold. I'm like, I'm not finna walk all the way from the back of the parking lot to the front. And that's when I remember, oh my God, I got the very first parking spot. But in order for me to park in that spot, I'm going to have to let the cat out the bag that I drive this bummy, embarrassing car. But it was too cold and it was too much snow. So I said, well, I ain't got no choice. Now, the first day that I parked there, by the time I came out, the blizzard had completely covered the car. And I was so grateful because you couldn't tell what kind of car it was. You couldn't tell what color the car was. None of that. So that worked out. Now, in between all of this, as I am employee of the month, I had people coming up to me who had worked there for 14 years and even 26 years. And they would come and they would tell me, how did you get to be employee of the month? I've been here 26 years. I had one man who was so upset that he threatened to quit. He took it that personal that somebody can come straight through the door and be in this position. And he's been there all this time. He felt like they didn't appreciate him. Okay, but that's a sidebar. Remember that. Now, going back to the car. Over time, I started to get over myself. The embarrassment started to rub off, and I just started to park my car in the front. And you already know, they roasted me. Oh, they roasted. They talked about me so bad. I mean, people even came up to me and they said, that's your car? That's what you driving? And I was super, super embarrassed. So fast forward, the month is over with, and now I no longer have the parking space. Guess what happened? I got blessed with one of the biggest checks I ever had in my whole life. And guess what I did? I went and I got a new car with no first parking spot to park it in. So everybody got to see me in the bummy car, and as soon as I humbled myself, as soon as I let everybody see that's what I was driving, I got blessed with a brand new car that nobody knew was mine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, before we even jump into the messages, the numbers, I could tell you right now, one of the things that is going to happen right before you get this big bag is you will be humbled. You will humble yourself, okay? Sometimes you have to go through a little bit of embarrassment before you can get to the promise, okay? So I'm going to be in this video breaking down different things that I was told to share with you that, just like with this time, happened throughout my life right before I got a big bag, right before God gives you the thing that you've been praying for or asking for, or gives you something that you didn't even know was coming. There is going to be a thing or two or three that happens right before that, okay? So this story was just to kind of get you in the mind frame of what it means to be humbled before something happens. There's been times where, God is getting ready to bless you with something, but you have to kind of go off course a little bit before you get it. There's been plenty of times that those things have happened to me in my life right before I got blessed beyond my imagination. Because like I said, I was driving a bummy car, but what I got next was something I can only dream of. I had a huge truck, and it was something that I had always wanted, okay? So the blessing is huge, but what happens first, it might humble you, and that's just in this scenario. But as I'm talking about the different things that I've experienced in my life, you're going to see that maybe these things too have happened to you right before your big shebang, right before God made it rain, okay? So you're going to be choosing your money bag, and then we're going to be jumping into the messages as to what could possibly happen right before the money come in. You dig? So choose your number, and I'll see you guys in the messages. Ladies and gentlemen, if you chose number 1, you got coins, okay? Be on the lookout for coins. Right before God gets ready to bless you with a big bag, you may see coins on the ground. You may dream about coins, and specifically silver, okay? Silver coins, okay? So you have your nickels, you have your dimes, you have your quarters, okay? Now, for some of you guys, you may see these going in order. They may rise and ascend in value. So one day you may see a nickel, one day you may see a dime, one day you may see a quarter. And it's not necessarily up to you to pick these up. It's not like, oh, I saw a dime, but I didn't pick it up, so it don't count. Nope, it still counts. It's a sign letting you know that things are coming in. Doubly so if you see it going in increasing numbers, okay? It's increasing in value. Like I said, you see a nickel, then you see a dime, then you see a quarter, okay? This is a sign. This is a specific sign, okay? It's not by chance that this is happening. You are really being shown and given a sign that your money is increasing, okay? Your value is going up. Now, when you do the research and you learn about the spiritual meaning of coins, you come across things like wealth and abundance, okay? This also represents spiritual gifts, okay? Currency, value, and spiritual gifts. And it also represents joy, love, and peace. So maybe monetary value is going up, but in the areas of love and peace, that is all going up as well, okay? And it is a sign of personal transformation and personal growth, okay? Never despise your change, okay? Because change is going to bring some change. When you see change, you know change is coming. When you begin to stack your coins, it doesn't matter if it's only 5 cents a day. Over time, that will be a money pile that is growing. And if you're the type of person that comes home and you start saving your change, you will notice that over time, that little change becomes big money. In fact, they even have Coinstar, where you can take all of your change, pour it in, and have it count and give you back dollars in exchange for it, okay? In exchange for your change. So your sign, when you begin to see this change, lets you know there's about to be a change in your change, okay? Now, in some cultures, they believe in luck. Some of you guys may not believe in luck, But they say that when you see change, it is a sign of good luck or good fortune. Good things are coming your way. They say doubly so if it's on heads. Okay, so if it's on heads, you see some change, but it's on the head side, that's like double for you. Okay. For some of you guys, you may feel the urge, again, like you may not be a change collector. Some of y'all may not even pay attention to your change. You may get your change and throw it out and say, it doesn't matter. But in a particular season of your life, God may be wanting you to pay attention to your change. Pay attention to the value. Appreciate the value of your coins. And it's nickels, it's dimes, it's quarters, but it's also half dollars, those silver dollars worth 50 cents. Okay. And I also was getting that with $2 bills. If you come across or you see a $2 bill or someone gives you a $2 bill, this is a specific sign coming to your life right now that your money is increasing. You're about to get rare and valuable checks and opportunities that will lead to your overall growth. Now, when it comes to this change that is coming to you, or this big bag, the change is representing the life transformation. When you get what is coming towards you, it will not just be for that moment. Things are going to add up over time, and it's going to be a complete life makeover due to small changes. Okay, you'll have a big overall change due to the small changes. Pay attention to the small change and the small changes and see how over time it creates big bucks. It creates big transformation. Okay, so if you chose number one, you got change. Don't despise the small change. Pay attention, be on the lookout for it. Watch how it comes in increasing increments, and whenever you can, save your change, store your change. Okay, so that's what I get for number one. Let's go ahead and get to number two. All right, when it comes to what happens right before God gets ready to bless you with a big bag, things come into alignment or into your vortex that are money related, money tools. It's like no matter where you go, you always see something about money, and it's God tapping you on the shoulder. Hey, I want you to use that tool. I want you to read that. I want you to involve that in your life. Okay, let me give you some examples. I was on TikTok, and every time I got on TikTok, it was always these different people, different times a day, and they all recommended the same book. And I saw the book so many times that I knew it was God saying, hey, I want you to read that, right? That book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. They say every successful millionaire has read this book at least twice. Every successful entrepreneur has had this book in their face, and they've been gathering the information. Now it says this book could be worth $1 million to you. And the information, the concepts, how to pray and how you're asking for things, all of those things matter. And it gives you a clue when God is putting certain literature or certain money-making tools in your face. It gives you a clue as to what type of bag is on the way. Like I said, this book could be worth $1 million to you. So this is letting you know that if God is involving you in certain money conversations, and he has you hearing from people who have attained certain levels of success, it's giving you a clue and almost a roadmap as to where you're going to end up or where God wants you to be financially. Okay, now like I said, things will just randomly appear in your face, and it will be what you love to help you stay passionate about doing what you're told to do. God knows I love to read, so of course he's going to send me a book. But God also knows that I love stickers, I love organization, I love pens and paper, and I love to doodle and make little notes. So in order to keep me motivated with money and making my plans and staying organized, God will put stuff in my face like this. Like this is a book. It has like money signs and budgeting stickers and you did it girl and good job and all that kind of stuff. So he will put things in your face that you like to keep you organized, so that when you get this bag, you multiply the bag, you flip the bag, and you got the bag to toss down to the next generation. Okay, now also remember how we had number one, and I was talking to you guys about change, and I was talking to you guys about coins. Okay, again, God said don't count out the change. Don't think that the change is strange. When you start doing what God tells you to do, he will give you the tools to help manage it. So God had been getting on me about keeping your change and keep the small change and all of that. So I had been doing that. But then, because I had been obedient in the first area to start collecting the change, when I go out randomly one day, I'm with my mom, I find this. Now, this collects quarters, it collects dimes, and it collects nickels, right? The same thing that I told you guys in number one, you might start finding as you are walking, okay? As you are, at a store. And it doesn't necessarily, like I said, mean that you have to pick up this, change from around town, but it's letting you know that, listen, I want you to appreciate those things. So again, God is going to give it to you in a way that you like it. He's going to give it into you in a way that, it's fun for you. So pay attention to what God puts in your face. All right. You are going to come across things that are going to keep you organized, that are going to keep you excited and passionate about growing your money. Like I told you, this is the money stacking, right? And so some of you guys are being urged to stack the money. Okay. And you're going to have to be organized. The thing that I was getting earlier is that God is not just going to give you this money and want you to be irresponsible with it. Down to the T, from how you think to how you plan to the organizational tools that you use. God wants you to be covered in all areas. So if you chose number 2, God will begin to put into your alignment the literature, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the organizational tools, as well as the fun, cute stuff that you love to keep you organized so that you can continue growing your bag. You dig? So that's what I get for number 2. Let's go ahead and get to the last one. All right, so number 3 is kind of hard, okay? It's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow. But just like in the example that I gave you guys at the beginning, when God is getting ready to bless you, at first he's going to humble you. But while you are being humbled, somebody you admire, someone you look to, or someone who is of a higher stature than you may become upset with you or may start hating on you, okay? In my case, people who have been on this job for 14 and 26 years, they kind of was given a side eye like, wait a minute, how dare somebody nominate her and then all of these people vote? All of these top dogs have to vote and y'all chose her and I've been here 26 years? And this person did not sugarcoat their feelings. They came directly to me. You're the employee of the month? I've been here 26 years, and they laid it all out. And this was in the midst of me feeling embarrassed and hiding and being humbled. So right before God gets ready to bless you, he will test you. And he will test the people around you. Who's going to act like what? Some of you guys right now are super embarrassed of who you are and what you got. In my case, I was super embarrassed of my car. So while I'm thinking, oh no, I'm so embarrassed, look at me, I want to hide. There's someone else looking at me like, hey, you got what I was supposed to get. You're getting what I wanted. Does that make sense? So God is showing you these things so that you can know and understand what you may think is a flaw for you. Someone else is still looking at you like, wait a minute, I want what you got. So even though in one area of your life you are being humbled, you are being brought down to size, or feeling you may make yourself feel small, or these may not even be things that you need to be embarrassed about, but in that same breath, during that same season where you're being humbled, there will be someone else who is of a higher paycheck, who is of a higher position, who has put in more time, blood, sweat, and tears in the game more than you, but they will still be looking at you like, that's not fair. That's not right. This man was so upset. He took it so personal that he was not nominated after 26 years of being on the job. He took it so personal that he almost quit. This man is 4 years off from retirement. He want to quit because he didn't get employee of the month. So don't despise what you have. Go through your testing season and humble yourself. That's going to be the quickest way for you to get over your embarrassment and for God to come on in and bring you that bag to bless you. Now, right before I got my new car, right before that check came, someone of a higher stature was upset. I'm not going to say he was hating, because in his mind he had all the reason to be upset. That's how he felt, okay? So I'm not going to say he was hating, but it did make me feel bad. It did make me question, yeah, why did I get chose? Why was I selected? Even though they sent the email and it's all these list of reasons why you were nominated, why we chose you, it still, made me question myself. So that may be another thing that happens right before you get the bag. You get humbled because of whatever you embarrassed about, but then someone who's upset with you, that may make you feel a little bit bad, and it make you feel like, well, maybe I don't deserve what they gave me. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted this, or maybe I should have told them, no, don't nominate me, give it to them, But this is something that happens right before you get your bag, right before God blesses you. You might feel bad for feeling bad. You might feel bad about whatever it is you got going on the side, and then whatever new information. You sitting there feeling bad about this whole time. These people got a whole new reason to be mad at you, okay? So right before you get that blessing, you will be humbled, and someone of a higher status or position will be upset. Your success will bring someone else pain. You getting blessed right before you get blessed is going to make someone else upset. It's not for you to judge them. It's not for you to look at them like, ooh, that hater. No, just recognize that you got blessed tremendously before God blessed you tremendously. Can I say that for number 3? Right before God blesses you, you're going to get blessed somewhere else. And in between those blessings is going to be one person who is not going to like it. So that's it. That's why I told y'all in the middle, hold that thought. Okay, so if you chose number 3, be humble. And understand that even if you are feeling like you have a flaw, or even if you are feeling like, something ain't the greatest and you trying to hide yourself, you can run, but you can't hide. Because when God bless you, he blesses you publicly. Okay? And sometimes people not going to like that. And then the last part about this is, again, you get blessed right before you get blessed. I was blessed with Employee of the Month right before I got my new car. But that thing in between the blessings, is what you may really want to watch out for as your clue. Okay, so that's what I get for number 3. Let's go ahead and let's wrap this up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys understand that your change is about to have a change. Okay, that's what we talked about in number 1. And number 2, God is not giving you this increase to be irresponsible. So pay attention to the literature and the information that is coming across, your organizational tools, and all of the things that God is bringing you and aligning you with, so that you can be responsible and be organized when this big bag comes in. And number 3, got to make sure that you stay humble, okay? Because staying humble during your humbling season is going to make the blessing that much more sweeter. And do not be dismayed by the fact that your blessing is going to make somebody else a little upset, okay? These are the things that happen right before you get to that bag. But it don't stop there, ladies and gentlemen, because I have 3 more things that go down right before it goes down. You feel what I'm saying? So we're going to take it over to Patreon, and we're going to continue on with the things that happen right before God makes it rain. I want you guys to be aware of these things so that you can embrace this transitional season and be organized and be responsible once you get that bag, okay? So head on over to Patreon and continue with the rest of the messages. But if this is where it ends for you, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on all my other social medias, and I will see everybody in the next video.